Peter Frampton released Frampton Comes Alive on January 6, 1976 under A&M Records. It was a double live album and one of the best-selling live albums in the United States. 3 singles that you probably heard before, Show Me the Way, Baby I Love Your Way, and Do You Feel Like We Do, were in the top 15 on the Billboard Hot 100. The album itself was number 1 on the Billboard Hot 200 in April 1976 and stayed there for 10 weeks. It sold about 11 million copies worldwide. It was recorded in San Francisco and New York. A very small portion of the album was fixed in the studio, but the guitar solos, acoustic guitars, electric keyboards, drums, bass guitar, and vocals were all live. At the time, that was unprecedented. All this being said, there's no wonder why I have this album in my possession. Personally, my favorite part of this record is the talk box guitar effect that became synonymous with Frampton. You can hear it being used in Do You Feel Like We Do and Show Me the Way. Now let's address the cover. It features Frampton looking out at a crowd during a live concert. It's set against a dark blue background. There's 2 stage lights on either side of him emitting bright blue light. His face to me is just so iconic. It looks like he just finished a song and is taking the audience in. It's like he's making the realization that they do feel like he does. He's blurred a little bit, but it's obviously intentional. The only complaint I have on the front is that it doesn't show his talk box, but it probably would have confused people since that was an effect he popularized. The back is another shot of his torso with the black custom Gibson Les Paul he used in concerts. When you open it up, it shows some pics of the band performing live. There's Stanley Sheldon on bass, Bob Mayo on rhythm guitar, John Simios on drums, and of course Peter Frampton doing vocals and lead guitar. There's some paragraphs in the middle describing the album. The whole thing can be summed up by this quote: "Performing is the best thing for a musician. It keeps my music alive and breathing. That's too important to give up. I really don't think I'll ever stay off the road for very long." It also says he was 25. One last thing, if you hold it vertically and open it straight up, you can see that the torso connects to the other part of him, and you've got a poster like Peter Frampton staring right at you. It's pretty sweet, and yeah, a lot of people don't know about this, but now you do. Ass! Crosby, Stills & Nash, or CSN if you're with it, was put out on June 17, 1977 under Atlantic Records. It was their 5th album and the first without Neil Young. It's the trio's best-selling album and certified quadruple platinum. Furthermore, it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Top Pop Albums chart. The cover is a photo showing the trio relaxing on a boat. The guy on the left, wait a second, is that Jason Lee? I know, I've used that one before. It's actually just Crosby looking out at the sunrise. On his right is Stills. He's wearing a red beanie and white t-shirt. It looks like something out of Hugh Mantner's wardrobe. On the far right is Nash half laying down and grimacing. It's a much simpler cover than the one they used for Daylight Again in 1982, which I've already reviewed. I think this cover is alright. It's a self-titled album of 3 guys who like to make rock music. There's an old urban legend that this was the last pic taken of them before they were abducted and forced to play music for aliens. On the back, they're singing together in black and white. It looks like they're doing a cappella because there's no instruments in sight. Nash is holding a glass of water in his left hand. Yeah, that's attention to detail. Lastly, the photo in the center of the vinyl is a shot of the ship they're on, taken at what looks like the same time of day as the cover. I think that's a pretty nice touch. 2 years after Frampton Comes Alive and 1 year after CSN, Pieces of 8 came out under A&M Records. It was their 8th studio album. I wonder if that helped inspire the title. Anyway, the specific date of its release was September 1st, 1978. That's one day after the last day of the 8th month. And the year it arrived has an 8 in it too. Looks like I've just identified 3 pieces. A little more trivia. Blue Collar Man and Renegade, which you probably heard, are on this album, helping it go triple platinum. Dennis DeYoung, who was one of the lead singers of the band, said he hated the cover but grew to like it as he got older. I doubt the latter is true. Hypnosis, an English art design group based in London, illustrated it. The cover of this album is just bizarre. There's 3 older women, 2 of them are looking to the right, and the one between them is staring right at you. She's expressionless. They all have Easter Island head earrings on. I found an article that says there are 887 moai, also known as Easter Island heads, that have been discovered by archaeologists. We're at 5 pieces now. On the back there's a face looking left and another looking right. The one looking right is barely visible and is actually a continuation of the woman dressed in blue on the front. If you open up the album completely, you can see her come to fruition. I can't say the same about the left face. It doesn't correlate to the one facing the opposite direction on the front. The hair cover is the giveaway here. The hair here is much darker and has no gray, whereas the one on the front does. It looks like they should go together, but if you want to make that argument, then you have to accept that she's 2 different ages, a hybrid of 2 different times. It gets weirder. When you open it up, you're actually splitting open her face. In the middle of the 2 faces on the back is a full-sized Easter Island head in the ground. There are 2 more partially visible ones in the background as well. We're still only at 5 out of 8 pieces, but I figured out the rest of the puzzle. The second song on side 2 is called Queen of Spades. We all know that in heart the Queen of Spades is worth 13 points. On the front and the back there are 5 unobstructed moai. 13 minus 5 equals 8. That's 6 pieces. On the inside of the record there are 5 male faces, presumably the members of Styx. They're standing in the same setting that the picture on the back was taken, and the same 2 moai are there. Take the 6 pieces, add 2, and there you go, 8 pieces. The album artwork portrays Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island, which is located in the Southeast Pacific west of Chile. Why did Hypnosis choose to make this the cover? Well, the last song on side 2 is called Aku Aku. Aku Aku is an Easter Island expression meaning spiritual guide. This is the only connection to the music I could find, so I seriously think Hypnosis listened to that song and decided to run with it. The song itself is pretty much just part 2 of Pieces of 8. Once Pieces of 8 ends, Aku Aku immediately begins. It flows nicely since Aku Aku is a chill instrumental except for some chanting. There's a lot of piano and synth going on. They tend to perform these songs together live. Overall, this isn't a great cover. Yeah, it's intriguing, but it just comes off as strange. The first 2 albums reviewed were simple, but they worked. This one doesn't even have the name of the band or album on it. You have to take out the inside insert to find out who made it. I don't want to be misconstrued. I like Styx. The cover does not do the music justice. Okay, we've talked about the talk box, saw CSN on a boat, and found every piece of 8. That's the episode, everybody. Thanks for watching.